Welcome back to the attic, 5th graders. It is I, Professor Pandemic, here for another math lesson. Today begins our look into the order of operations. We're only going to focus on 2 of the 4 operations today. We're going to kind of ease you in and kind of gently raise the bar a little bit so that way it's very easy to follow and kind of understand. So, the 2 steps we're looking at today are multiplying and dividing and adding and subtracting. With these order of operations, you have to do all of the multiplication and division work first. You don't do any adding or subtracting until all the multiplication and division is done. Then you can go to the add and subtraction. If there is more than one operation, like if it's multiplication and division, you have to work left to right. It doesn't matter if it's division first or multiplication first. You have to start at the left and go to the right, just like reading a normal sentence. Same thing for adding and subtracting, which you'll see in my example here. If there are 2 operations of this on the same line, you have to start from left to right. So let's take a look at this first example here. We have 7 plus 6 times 3 minus 8. And doing your work in a particular order, writing it neatly, and having it organized is going to be essential in solving these problems. So if you see here, I'm going to take it one step at a time. So I look at my operations. I have a plus, a multiply, and a subtract. Well, since I only have one operation here, I have to do the multiplication first, because multiplication and division is a higher power in the order of operations than adding and subtracting. So then I multiply 6 times 3, which gives me 18. What that means is I've actually finished using the 6 times the 3. I still haven't used the 7 in the addition, so I bring that down to my next line. I also haven't subtracted by 8 yet, so I move that to the next line. And notice I only do one step at a time. I don't try to rush and do 4 steps in my head. I do all of the work one at a time, because this is the spot where if you're going to go too fast or try to do too much in your head, it's not going to make it for you. So now we have nothing else for multiplication and division. So now I see 7 plus 18 minus 8. Well, all we're left with now is adding and subtracting. So I have to go from left to right. I can't do the 18 minus 8 first. That's second in line. According to order of operations, you have to do the 7 plus 18 first. That gets you 25. And then I'm done with adding that. And then I have the minus 8. And then 25 minus 8 is 17. And 17 is my answer. Notice I boxed my answers. And if you did your work in a concise and neat way, what should end up happening is I should be able to draw some kind of nice triangle or pizza slice around your work. I shouldn't have to look over here to find work or up here. Everything is in this nice pizza slice triangle. Here's another similar example to the question we just completed. Notice here we have 21 minus 36 divided by 9 plus 8. Here, there's only one multiplication or division, so obviously that tells us we have to do that one right away. 36 divided by 9 is 4. We write down the 21, and we write the plus 8, and we tell our phone to stop making noise when we're trying to have a meeting, so we throw that away. And now we have 21 minus 4 plus 8. So again, we have one adding and one subtracting, but here the subtraction comes first. We can't do the adding. We have to go left to right. So you have to subtract the 21 minus 4. That gets you 17. 17 plus the 8. And now when I can add 17 plus 8, I get 25. And that would be my answer here. So let's do a couple of these similar problems on your own to see how you do answering these order of operations questions. So here we go, where the operations are now multiplication and division. Have 2 of them. 19 times 2 minus 42 times 7. Try that on your own and compare your answers to what your friends get in the chat or in your class and see if you can get the right answer to this problem. Hopefully you ended up with an answer of 32. So let's go really quick and take a look at it. In this problem, we have a multiplication and a division problem at the same time. So that actually means we have one of each here. What that means is, again, you have to work from left to right. So you have to do the 19 times 2 first, which gets 28. And then the 42 divided by 7, which is 6. I combined that into one line. If you wanted to take 2 steps to do that, perfectly okay. I then now subtract, because that's the only one I have left. So when there's only one, it makes it really simple to figure out. 38 minus 6 is 32. So hopefully you got that right. We're going to do a couple more of these, and then we're going to make it a little more complicated. Here's our new problem, 81 divided by 9 plus 8 times 4. Take a minute, see if you can get this answer 100%. In this problem, you should have come up with an answer of 41. Just like the previous problem, we have a multiplication and division operation, but in this case, the division comes first. So you have to do the division before you multiply, which means you have to do 81 divided by 9, which is 9, plus 8 times 4, which is 32. Then you can add up those problems, and 9 plus 32 equals 41. So let's do a couple more problems and see if I can trick you with these order of operations. We've stepped the multiplication up a notch here with 25 times 24 divided by 6 plus 100. Mathematicians, have at it and see if you will get the correct answer. Well, friends, hopefully you came up with the answer 200. Let's check it out. So the first step is multiplying 25 times 24, because in our order of operations, we have to go left through right, which means multiplication outranks division right here. You come up with 600. Now, I did the work over here on the side, which is perfectly okay. You can do all your work on the side, but again, only put your answer over here, so that way you can get your pizza slice of a triangle when you're done. I then have to divide 600 by 6, because division outranks addition and subtraction. 600 divided by 6 is 100. I add one more 100, and that gets me an answer of 200 for my answer. So again, if you needed to do the multiplication or this division on the side, please do so. That's up to you. You know what's best for you. Do whatever is going to make you the most successful for these lessons. Just make sure when your final work kind of looks like this pizza slice and everything's nice and organized. Let's try an even more challenging one. Now in this problem, friends, we've gone from 3 different operations to 4 different operations. So really be careful with your order of operations. Make sure you're copying everything down correctly and going in the right order. And let's see if you can get the correct answer. Hopefully, if we all did our math correctly, your answer should have ended up being 12. Now let's walk through it step by step to make sure you have it. We have 2 operations that are on the same power here, multiplication and division, which means working from left to right, multiplication comes before division. So I have to do the multiplying first. 17 times 3 is 51. That's the only thing I do. I bring down my 60 and minus, my plus 24, and my divide by 8. I've done 1 operation. I have 3 to go. Remember, division is still here, so I have to divide 24 by 8 before I can do any adding and subtracting. 24 divided by 8 is 3. So after that step is done, I now have 60 minus 51 plus 3. Both addition and subtraction are on the same line, which means, again, I have to go from left to right, meaning I have to do the 60 minus 51 before the 51 plus 3. If you did that, you're going to get a different answer than what I got, because 60 minus 51 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So again, more operations, more chances to make either a simple calculation mistake or go out of order with your order of operations. Let's do one more problem for this first lesson on order of operations. We have another 4 operational problem here for our question. 25 divided by 5 plus 20 minus 8 times 2. So again, take your time, look at the steps, make sure you're going from left to right, and let's see how many people can get our last answer 100%. Well, friends, hopefully you ended up with the answer of 9 for this problem. Let's walk through it. Again, your first step is to see if there's any multiplication or division problem operations. There's a division and a multiplication. So you go from left to right. We have to start with 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So I bring down the plus 20 because as before, we've already used this part of the problem. We bring down our negative and our 8 times 2. So now we have to look. I still have multiplication, which means I have to do this 8 times 2 before anything else. 8 times 2 is 16. So now that problem's gone. We've done that operation. And we have the 5 plus 20 minus 16. Now addition and subtraction. I have to go from left to right. This time it's addition that comes first. 5 plus 20 is 25. And then I can subtract my 16, and 25 minus 16 is 9. So, friends, hopefully you're getting a good feel for this first part of our order of operations lessons. Most important thing that 5th graders mess up on is always wanting to do subtraction first, or always wanting to do adding first, or maybe always wanting to do multiplying first instead of division, and not looking at the order they go in. You have to follow the order of operations in these problems, or else you're going to get an answer, but it's not going to be the right answer. And you're going to be really confused because you're going to have thought you did all your work correctly when you really didn't. In our next lesson, we're going to add even more steps to this. So we have just looked at 2 of the steps in order of operations. There's a couple more to come. So we'll continue to build on this and practice. And hopefully, as we build, you continue to get better and improve on this very challenging skill. As for me, I'm Professor Pandemic. We'll see you at the next lesson, friends. Have a great day.